everybody. Yeah. What do you think of that?
I like it. It sounds like another song to me that's like,
Well, maybe by Deftones, because that's what this is by. Deftones.
Deftones, okay.
Yeah. It's just that voice. It's like haunting.
Yeah, it is. Haunting and soothing.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yes, that is Deftones, everybody. Called
Yeah.
Minerva. That's the name of that song.
Minerva.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
You know what? I'm not too sure to tell you the truth.
Hey,
I took 2
look,
years of
you're
Spanish.
wearing Me First in the Gimme Gimmes.
I am.
And
And
I'm
you are
my
wearing.
Strung Out.
That's right. Kind of like, that's funny because that's a couple of shows we just saw.
I know. And who are we?
We are, well, my name is Drew.
And I'm Kat.
And this is Let's Party, Prayer, and Punk Rock, people.
Yeah, it is.
What's going on?
So we had a fun weekend. We got to go see a comedy show again at the Majestic. We saw Kevin James at the Majestic. But this weekend, we saw, who did we see?
Louis Mother Effin' Black.
Yeah. Man, he says the F word like all, that's like every other word.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
That guy was awesome.
Yeah,
he was hilarious.
He was.
Yeah, I'd never seen his stand-up. I've seen a few things on like Conan or something like that, or I think on the Daily Show.
And for those of you who are parents, he was Anger in Inside Out.
Right, yes. He was Anger in Inside Out, so yes.
And he didn't say any F words then.
And he didn't. Yeah, luckily, which is surprising.
Yeah. Although I think he talks about cussing. I know a good one.
Yeah. I bet you the outtakes. I want to hear the outtakes. They're waiting on outtakes of the Pixar film. I know there's a Louis Black version.
We were gonna we like getting shirts for when we go to shows, and so we went to go look at his merch, and it was
they're like $20 too. Not bad for a shirt. I mean, these are a lot more.
But we could not wear any of his merch.
Yeah, they had
around
a few
our
like fingers and words that.
Everything was the F bomb. He is. Yeah, he's very funny. He can be a little political, which is...
Well, it was interesting, though, because he didn't, pick a side, though. It was just, Republicans say this, and Democrats say that, and, it was like the line where I think that's when he had that line, why does the government just treat, the politics and the problems the way I used to treat acid back in the day. Some point you got to sit down and just say, what the F is going on? That was, everybody lit up when he said that. That was hilarious.
Well, you have to agree what the F is going on.
Yeah, that's right. You have to agree what the F is going on. Exactly. That was hilarious. But I did like that he had the politics side of things. That's what was interesting because we didn't know much about the rant, and we were watching some of his stand-up before we went and saw him, just so we can see if he was going to use some of those in his act or whatever,
Yeah.
And they had a rant thing where we're like, oh, that's kind of funny. And I remember even mentioning to you, how come he's always holding his tablet? Is that a new thing now?
Right.
I don't understand that, And then when we went, he does his set, and then it's cool. He has it's called live rant with Louis Black. Rant with Louis
Black.
I think
it's live.
Live rant.
Because he does it live.
So after every show, he pretty much opens it up for the city that he's in. So we're in Dallas. So after the show, he leaves and then he comes back 15 minutes later, and it's at the beginning of the show they ask you to do this as well. But it's anyone in the DFW area really, or do you have a rant that you want Louis Black to read off live after a show? And so he made a little special after it. And man, some of the things that the people wrote in were hilarious. Because they would just be, if I was being verbatim, then it would be language. But, because I was thinking of writing one, and I'm like, man, what am I going to, I didn't realize that at that point that it was you're supposed to rant to him.
Yeah.
And then he reads on the air.
I wish you could go back and
I thought it was supposed to be boy, I really love Dallas, or, traffic's horrible.
It was complaining.
But it was supposed to be, your complaints. And so, it started off with what? It was to the lady wearing with
the red hair.
The red hair.
Cut me off in the merch line.
In the tie-dye shirt. F you. Yeah. And it was that's what it's all about.
I stood in the bathroom behind that lady. I know exactly what they're talking about.
And then there at one point, the guy that's got his arm around the girl, and they complain, and I had my arm around you at the point where I go, crap, what?
And they're making out a lot.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
We weren't really making out, but
we just kissed a few times.
Yeah.
But then, they said, because he was wearing a cowboy hat or something.
Oh, yeah. And you're that's definitely
thank you. Yeah. It was pretty funny.
But I wish we could go back and do it again and be part of it. Some of the people wrote some good stuff.
Oh, wow.
Really
and he even
writing.
said, he's like, usually I'm not up here this long, but you guys have really got some good things. I mean, the one guy that called in saying, yeah, I went on this date and, I went with this girl and he went back to the house and she had these 2 collies and she just immediately got on the floor and started making out with the dogs pretty much. And at one point he goes in the bathroom, what am I doing here? Walks out. And she says that she'd rather die for these dogs.
Or she would die for these dogs.
Flips him out, and then at one point he's like, and that's why I'm gay.
Yeah.
And Dad, just so you know, our wedding is on Friday, and I'd rather have Blue is Black tell you live on the air than me personally.
Yeah.
And you're like, what?
Plus, this guy came out, and then Blue is Black's like, if that is real, that's amazing. If this is not real, that's still amazing.
Yeah.
You do his voice good. He has like gravelly, rah-rah.
Yeah, because it's just funny because he'll like it's so weird how he talks because he'll kind of just go I don't understand why you think and you're just like dude because he'll be like all calm at first he'll just be like calm like so I tell them what of course it is
and he does a lot of the
oh I want to stomp out crime I don't like crime. Well nobody likes crime. He went on a whole little thing about it. I was like, yeah, dude, this guy's awesome. I don't give a crap about your family. Like, oh, here's little Jimmy, and it was pretty funny. It was good.
You remember a lot of it. I feel like I forget so much of it.
It's honestly like
so
as I'm like saying things are coming back to me.
Yeah, I'm like revisiting the show.
I'm like, come on, get in here, guys, get in here.
Yeah, that was really good. That
was
really funny, and I like that we're only like 20 minutes away from the Majestic, which is really nice.
Yeah, that was nice. I mean, we were like 5 minutes away from the car, And then Friday here in Texas, there was like gale force winds and apparently a tornado touchdown.
Yeah, there was a horrible tornado.
Like northeast of Dallas or something. And Loose Black's like, what the hell? And I come in here and, that was another rant somebody said, about the seasons weather, and stuff. And all the people that bitch about it being 32. And, and that's shorts weather where I come from.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah, I would like to see him again. I would like to get up front.
Yeah.
I feel like concerts, you don't really need to be up front. When it comes to comedians, though, being up front, you become part of the show. Like the Three Amigo guys that got pulled up with Steve Martin and Martin Short.
Well, and like the one lady up front that he kept
talking to.
Yeah, a couple of the people, really. But one lady who was laughing about something.
And he was like, oh, you got it.
Yeah.
And, you could yell something and he would hear you if you were in front.
I'm sorry. Yeah, they're in the back. I mean, you're yelling to me something, and you know what I hear? I hear Rogaine. Okay?
Which I tried 20 years ago, and it doesn't really work.
It doesn't really work, and it's like... Because he's like telling a story, like a sympathetic story about his mother or something, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like trying to tell this all, and all of a sudden, Rogaine! Like, wow, that's weird. I'm trying to talk about my mom who just passed, and there's Rogaine. Okay.
And the guy had said, like, we love you, man. But
that's all he had said. We love you, man.
Rogaine.
Yeah. That was pretty funny. But I do like his little disclaimer, about how, look, this is who I am. If you should have done your homework before you came to see me.
Yeah, if you don't know me.
If you don't know me, then this is what I do. Okay, and then, it was like probably 10 minutes or so, and that's a disclaimer. So at this point, if you're upset, F off, or whatever, It was pretty
And don't write me afterwards.
Yeah, don't write me afterwards.
It's a joke. It'll go. It'll go away. Watch. Just say bye-bye to it.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. There goes you go home, and it goes away. Yeah.
We're telling this whole show now.
I know. We should probably stop.
But yeah, you should go see him. I recommend it. He was cool.
Yes, it was very, very good. Definitely.
What movies have we seen?
We've seen quite a few lately. Do we talk about The Conjuring?
No, because I think we watched the day after Halloween, and our last show was Halloween.
Ah, that's right.
So
we did watch The Conjuring, watch the first one. I didn't realize the whole Annabelle franchise, like how it built up in the very beginning of the doll or whatever.
Does it make you want to see the Annabelle movie?
Honestly, these kinds of movies, like, it was okay to me. I mean, it was good, it was creepy, but I'm just not really into the whole like
I don't like
possession
that religious stuff. Freaks me out.
Yeah, I mean it's like the way, even because it's creepy enough, but I don't know what it is.
Exorcism stuff, where the demon's inside the person's body.
Yeah,
that like really gets to my soul.
And I don't know what it is, but to me, it's just like, you know, people say The Exorcist is the scariest movie ever and all this stuff. To me, like, yeah, I mean, you know, obviously, you know, Satan and all that stuff, that's very scary stuff. But like, to me, just Hollywood's like, this just doesn't do it for me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like this is just Hollywood making their own idea of what this is, and it's to me, it's like a slasher film. Yeah. You know, it's too much. It's got too much of the slasher. You know, like how realistic can we do this, and then it's overdone or whatever. You know, and Exorcist is great in its own right. Yeah. You know, but to me, those just don't do it. To me, it's like on a similar line would be like a Paranormal Activity or Blair Witch or something. You know, like a real life kind of feeling to it. Because for some reason, that just gets me. You know,
it's like over
for
the
horror,
top
it's very subjective.
gore.
Yeah, it's very subjective in horror, and you're always trying to find that one thing. And sometimes you can do it, you know, but for me, it doesn't. I don't get it all. Like I got it at the beginning of the movie before like Satan started coming in and wrapping himself around her body and all that stuff. You know, I mean, all the creepy bumps in the night were better to me than when it just comes down to that. Yeah, it's just I don't know. It just.
What's the girl's name who plays the actress?
Oh, dude.
I don't know her name, but she's very good.
Lily Taylor.
Yeah, and she's so soft
she is
spoken
awesome
and quiet and like unassuming.
She's a great actress though, because she's a lot like that other one, Amanda Plummer, who was in Pulp Fiction, the Honey Bunny. And then she's like, okay, and if you don't, but she's a lot like that kind of actress. Honestly, she always reminded me of that, like they could be very sweet and nice, and all of a sudden just loud and crazy. Yeah. And, like, it's a lot of her other roles were like that, you know, criminals or, you know, drug addicts and stuff like that. You know? But her best one was Say Anything. She was Lloyd Dobler's friend.
Oh, I don't think I've seen it.
Her, you know, she's like, don't be a guy. There's lots of guys. Be a man. That she tells John Cusack.
You know all the things. That's so funny. We saw Others too. Which was the Others movie. Yep. We watched with the kids because it was PG-13. And
an older one.
That was creepy. It was like
that one was good to me. That one like held my attention a little bit more. That like it was.
I loved.
It was an interesting story. You know,
she overacted a little bit at the beginning. I was like, oh girl, but. For the most part, she's pretty good. Yeah. And it was a good twist. I had no idea. Like that's
the Others definitely has a really good twist at the end. You're like, oh, that's right. Because I'd seen it before too, and I totally forgot.
You know what else had a great twist? Do you want to talk more about Others?
No, that's fine.
Was Book of Eli.
See, you'd never seen that one before.
Oh no! So they were watching some older movies because the newer movies we've been watching have sucked.
Yeah, they kind of.
So we're like, let's go back to like older movies than the Book of Eli I had not seen, and I love Denzel Washington. Yeah. Like he's just so great.
And you want to tell them what it's about?
So you go ahead and do it because you're like the movie guy and really good at explaining it.
Not really. Well, it's got Denzel Washington. It's like a post-apocalyptic thing or whatever,
right?
And he's got like a book that everybody wants.
And it's basically the Bible.
Yeah, Gary Oldman's a bad guy.
Yep.
Well, it's sort of.
You do. Well, at the end you find out.
Most people do, yeah. But it ends up.
I mean, this movie's old.
It's interesting though because we watched this right when everybody was talking, like at church and everything. Everyone was talking about the end of the world and things how they would happen, the 7 years and and all that. And it's kind of like that was like their take on it. You know what I mean? And it was interesting. It was pretty good. And like Gary Oldman's character, was like the Antichrist trying to get the Bible because he wanted to be the one to.
Yeah.
And there's a few other twists in it other than just that. I mean that.
He's such a good bad guy.
Gary Oldman? Oh yeah, he's great. He is great.
We won't tell the very end twist, but I was like absolutely shocked. And I want to
You want to watch it again because
knowing it.
Because then you catch little things and you're like, that's
and that shows the beauty of his acting. Denzel Washington.
Yeah, Denzel Washington. I mean, he's great, man. It's funny too because to me, like he ends up winning the Best Actor Oscar for Training Day. Which to me, man, that wasn't anywhere near some of the best work that he's done. Yeah. It felt like they just gave it to him because
he deserves it.
Yeah, and like, we needed a black best actor or something. I don't know what it was. Because it was like, man, dude, he was doing like Philadelphia. He was doing some other roles were way better than doing this cop, man. I'm sorry. You know, but I mean, not that it wasn't a good performance.
Sure.
But, you know, it's kind of like, wow, it's yeah, it was just interesting. He's
and
a
it
great
could have been
actor,
that
though.
other actors, when he did those great movies, also deserved their.
Well, yeah, I
that
mean, to
year
me,
or
it's
whatever.
kind of hard to pick any of these winners to me because
Yeah.
it's like they all do great jobs, you know. But
Training Day, he's like badass, but he's
because he was kind of a
actually,
bad guy, I
but
guess.
he is
because
a bad guy at the end, and I don't like that.
Yeah, because he's normally playing a good guy
I like
in most
him playing a
movies,
good
so
guy.
I mean, and that kind of had a factor in it, I guess, as well. But it was just kind of interesting to me. You know, I was like, huh, I would, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Those things are all weird anyway. But yeah, we also
We
what
watched
else
a
we
lot of older movies. Keanu, too.
Keanu. No, that's like Jordan Peele, you know,
Yeah,
Nope, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That was their first one.
Jordan Peele and
Michael Keegan Key.
very good.
Key. Yeah.
He's
Sure.
funny. Ooh.
Yes.
He's hilarious. I think
He
he's
is.
more funny than the other one, but
He's like a black Vince Vaughn to me.
but funnier.
Like the way he talks, you know what I mean? Like everything,
Yeah.
you know, and like
yeah,
over
he is,
explain or
yeah,
something.
he's
You know what
tall
I mean?
and lanky.
Yeah, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like the whole thing. It's funny. Yeah, but he is
and
he
they
is
talk
hilarious.
like white guys that they're trying to talk like they're like thugs. You know?
Yeah, they're like that,
thug
yeah.
guy. It's just the fun. His mannerisms.
I
are
do
hilarious.
not talk like a white guy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Look at my glasses.
Oh.
I do not do it again. It's so funny.
I do not talk like a white guy. It's like favorite band is George Michael. You know?
And he starts getting
Like
like the
convincing the
gangsters
gangsters.
to listen to George Michael. Oh my gosh.
That was pretty funny. And at the end when he's like, Babs, you just hit him. You just hit him. That was pretty funny.
It's fun to go just watch something lighthearted too. You
Yeah.
know? I mean, actually,
There's
it's
a
not
good change of
lighthearted.
pace.
It's all about this kitten that they're trying to get back, but they're having to pretend they're gangsters and go into
Yeah.
like the drug world. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
It's a ridiculous
It's
movie.
ridiculous.
If you haven't
It's
seen it though,
funny.
it is hilarious. I mean, I'm sure, yeah.
Or you probably have seen it, but
If not, you should check it out again for sure. But we started watching a new one though that everyone had been kind of talking about, I guess.
yeah,
The Watcher
yes.
on Netflix.
Yeah, I was hearing about this
Man.
camp the other day.
Yeah, that is it. It's a
like
good
Burbs,
show.
like the movie The Burbs kind of
Yeah,
vibe.
yeah. Like, but you
Because
just
the
don't.
neighbors are all like weird and what?
Yeah, it's just Inside Out. It's like so weird. It's like
Yeah.
because like my assumption of it, you kind of told me like I'd seen it like on Netflix, but then you're like, hey, they were my friend was
A
telling me
camp
about it.
was
It sounds
telling
really
me.
weird or whatever, and so
Yeah.
like I was like, okay, let's check it out. And my assumption was that it was like that was somebody just kind of watching the house or a creepy neighbor and he has to fight him or whatever. But then it's way more than that.
Yeah.
It's like all has to
It's
do
a lot
with
deeper.
well, this house has been entrusted to me because they get these letters from this person,
Yeah.
and then they do this voice where he's like, "This house has been entrusted to me for the last 2 decades, and your children are my gifts." You know,
Yeah.
like you're like, what?
They're fresh blood.
Yeah, my fresh blood. Have they been in the basement? Have they played in the basement? Are they scared of it? I know I would be scared of it.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't be able to hear you scream if you were all the way at the top of the stairs. You guys sleep on the second story? You know, and you're like, what, dude? Like, I'll be watching you. You know, they like kill a fairy in the middle of the night.
I think it's like a voice like changer that you're like perfectly mimicking.
yeah, I know.
It's like a robot sound.
I'll just do, like you talk right now and I'll do it, right?
That's so funny.
See, there we go.
Oh my gosh. It made me pee my pants.
But seriously, it is a really it's a very intriguing show. And it's got like oh god, what's the guy's name?
I don't know, he's like the tall he reminds me of the brother
Bobby-
in Raymond, that show Raymond.
Almost, kind of like a Brad Garrett. Because he's got that kind of voice or
He's
whatever.
kind of like lanky and like brunette too.
And he lost a lot of weight. Bobby Cannavale, if I'm saying his name right. He was like the boyfriend, whatever, on Ant-Man to Paul Rudd's ex-wife or whatever. He's in that movie.
He was like a dick.
Yeah, and then if you saw the Nicole Kidman show on Hulu, what was that called? what was that called?
Oh,
the one where they were
man.
at the self-help,
Yeah.
you know, because he was
remember.
courting Melissa McCarthy.
That's right.
You know, but he had the beard and all that.
And
So
he
that's
had,
why it was like
anger issues.
Yeah, remember he was all like bearded
he was,
out,
like chubby.
and then that's why it was interesting because he's all skinny, and you know, I was like, dude, it looks weird, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got like him in it, and it's got
What was that show called?
yeah, no,
If you listen to our podcast at the beginning of our when we first started.
I think so.
Because I think we.
Hey, what did we watch back there? Where's our producer?
Yeah.
Oh wait, that's like
that's us.
That's right. Good job, me. But it's got like Mia Farrow in it, and I mean it's got like a lot of
And
people.
she's
in
a
it.
trip. She's like all skinny and weird looking.
Yeah, and then it's got like one of the neighbors, the guy, the husband guy. You know, not the lady that's all like the scrunchy face, but the guy that talks like that kind of,
Yeah.
or whatever. Like he's been on like Mad About You. He was his best friend on Mad About You. Hey Paul, how you doing?
I
Remember?
forgot.
Yeah, and I mean, he
Sure.
was on, man, like Spin City. He's like been in a ton of crap.
That was like all like 90s, huh?
Yeah. But yeah, he's like been in a bunch of stuff. It's got like a bunch of people in it, and then it's got Shooter McGavin in it from Happy Gilmore. He plays the sheriff.
That's a great movie. Can we show our kids that movie? This is such a tangent. So, just curious.
We probably
Is there,
have to
sexy
maybe
stuff in
fast
it?
forward a few small spots, but
I remember
for
that
the
was
most
such
part,
a funny movie.
it's pretty funny. It's better than Billy Madison. Billy Madison had more innuendo
sexy
on the
stuff.
sexy side.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But that's like old Adam Sandler.
That's a big. Well, Billy Madison was like his first movie,
one.
his first major.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean it was funny, and then Happy Gilmore came along, and that was like boom.
Yeah.
And then I think right after that was like Wedding Singer.
Yeah.
You know,
which
so
was
he had like a real momentum going. Well, a lot of people like that because it was more like a lighthearted romantic comedy versus kind of the goofy Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison. You know,
super goofy.
And then you know, I mean, he had a few decent ones, and then all of a sudden he started doing like Little Nicky.
It was got to that, and it's like,
dude.
okay, yeah, no.
And it's got like Harvey Keitel in it, dude. He's awesome, and he's like, oh, please sit down. Anyway, sorry. Like, who am I to talk here, right?
I don't know who's
222.
Harvey Keitel. Ooh.
Harvey Keitel. He was maybe you've seen Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
He was the wolf that they ended up having to call in after they ended up shooting the guy in the head, and it had blood all over the car. They had to take it to this guy's house and have him clean it, and they called him over. Like,
Oh,
okay,
yeah,
what you gonna do? Is you're gonna take that's Harvey Keitel.
That's him. Okay.
He is awesome. I mean, yeah, he's kind of like always in line with the gangster movies.
Yeah.
Or Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, somebody in there. Yeah, that was really good.
So I think that's basic. Oh, and so we watched. Those are all the movies we did, which was a lot.
Check out The Watcher. That's a great TV show.
And The Watcher was the new show we were watching.
Yeah.
The Watcher was the new
we
show
watched
we
The
were watching.
Watcher.
And then
Yeah, a couple episodes
Patient.
in, but it was definitely good. Oh man, yeah. So we finally finished watching. Well, we watched the entire season.
the
show.
final.
Yeah, actually,
the
it's a show.
finale.
It's only a 1-season show. Man.
But you can't talk about it.
Nope.
You can't say anything.
Let's just say that it's like the way it ended is like really good. Okay, I'm not gonna say a certain thing, this or that or the other.
But yes, it was good. It was good. I mean, it had to end the way it ended, in my opinion.
See, I wasn't gonna say that.
That's too far. I went too far.
It was awesome. It was really good, and like really did explore the relationships like with his son, and it started getting off on things that you really didn't think that they were going to go there, you know? And so people are yelling at each other.
I know.
But I really liked the way it ended. And I thought, man, Steve Carell's performance.
Oh.
You know, dude, I mean, I'm sure he's probably going to get nominated.
Yeah, he did. It's so incredible.
Oh, yeah, he does a phenomenal job in this show. I mean, it's ridiculous how well he does.
Yeah, it's interesting to see people go from the comedic side to the serious
I love
side.
seeing that. You know?
And that's also with Jordan Peele, you know?
Yeah.
Which we have been watching his movies, and then we flipped it and saw his comedy.
Right. Yeah, because, you know, Us or Get Out or Nope, and then it's like Keanu. Or, if you watch Key and Peele, it's like so funny, these people that have these just, I don't know, they almost seem like irregular ideas, you know? Like, you're like, wait, you're funny. Like, how do you make something that's scary and really good?
Yeah.
You know, like, usually you think, like, you know, like, Rob Zombie's a musician, so he makes House of a Thousand Corpses. Well, that actually was okay. but like, remakes Halloween, it's nothing but a gore fest or something.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, whatever. Like,
I guess that's like
this
creative.
guy he was very creative in his
Yeah.
writing and just like, especially Us.
Does he write it too?
Yeah, he writes and directs
okay.
all of his movies.
I just thought he directed it.
No, yeah, he writes and
wrote
directs
it
all of
too.
them.
Wow.
And so it's interesting that like to me, Us, that's just such a crazy idea of
Talk about
the
a
bottom,
twist.
yeah, like the alternate lives and how they're mimicking what we do up here and how there's an uprising and that was just, where do you come up with things like that? You know what I mean? Well, he smokes a lot of weed. I mean,
Hey, that opens it up.
Hey, there you go. Open the door, however you do, I guess,
for your
right?
creativity.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, we've been on that kind of a kick, so it's been pretty fun.
And we're also watching The Hand. What is it? The Maid.
A Handmaid's Tale, right? Yeah,
Hand-
The Hand That Rocks the Cradle.
Yeah.
No, that was with Rebecca De Mornay.
Yeah, that's a good movie too. It's very weird.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's good.
It's weird.
It was sort of like when we started watching
The sex
Ozark.
scenes are
When we
weird.
started watching Ozark, we got to like the second or third episode. We're like, man, I don't know, dude. This is just like really bleak and like where does it start getting? Everyone's saying it's getting good. Where's it at?
Yeah.
But it's kind of to me, it's kind of one of those shows where you sort of have to have the patience. But I don't know, like for us, or for me, it felt like. Yeah, halfway through the first episode, you're like, man, I don't know. Okay, this is a weird show, especially like the procreation way that they go about doing things.
Yeah,
if you haven't seen the
super
show,
weird.
you'll know what I'm talking about. But like, yeah, by the end of the first episode and into the second, you're like, okay, this is. It grabbed me quicker than it did Ozark. You know what I mean? And
it's 5
I like it.
seasons.
It's 5 seasons, so it's kind of one of those shows. I think it's like. We watch our main show, and then if it's like, we have to wait until next week to watch a new episode. All right, well, we're watching an episode of Handmaid's Tale. Eventually, in like 10 years, we'll get to the end of like the 7th season.
I'm like, can we just go straight to this season? And he lost his mind.
Like, can we just start like the new season? Like, are you crazy?
He's
Can't do that. No, no. 297 toothpicks in the box. 3 on the floor. Oh, Mom!
So I said, okay, I won't do that.
Okay.
Okay. It's gonna be okay.
True, it's gonna be on. And I had this breathing pattern I did, and she like calmed me down and gave me an apple. I was like, okay, right.
Oh my god. Oh, the cat came running in here crazy.
Oh, must be
Chloe, our podcat.
Our podcat doesn't like pod cars.
I think she almost got hit.
Yeah, I think that we were on vacation or something, and something had because anytime a car goes by.
Yeah.
Not our car though. We pull into our driveway, and she wants to run out. Yeah, you have to like pause, like move.
Yeah. Get out of the way.
Oh.
I mean, at least she trusts us. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, God, that's a dumb thing to do, but whatever.
All right, so let's talk about
close it up with the Jesus calling.
Jesus here, yeah.
Yeah. So I thought this was interesting. I've been listening to
Arbor Road.
We've been listening to so our Arbor Road Church is a church out in California. It's the one that I used to go to when I lived out there, and I'll listen to the services. I try and like listen to it every week if I can, but. They've been having an ongoing series. They've been doing it since the beginning of the year on Matthew.
Oh, wow.
Strictly Matthew, going all the way through Matthew.
So they did it all year long. It's almost next year.
And even because on the last service, he even mentions, because I know they've been doing it for a long time, and Brent had mentioned, the lead pastor, Brent, that he wanted that they were planning on doing it the entire year. I thought that they weren't in January. I was thinking they were already in March or something. But yeah, I think because he mentions it. This is one of the other pastors that helps. I want to say his name was Jake. Pardon me if I'm wrong. But he said, yeah, we've been doing this from the beginning of the year, and here we are in Matthew 25. I'm like, wow, they really have been going through the whole year. Yeah. And so they went over in Matthew 25, the parable of the 3 servants.
Right.
You're familiar with that story.
Yep.
I'm familiar with that one as well. 14 through 30. And so I'll read this here. And to me, like, you've probably heard it before, but I got something new out of it because they were
Yeah.
talking about it during our road service, and he brought something to light that I really didn't see before. And I've heard this a couple of times. I thought it was interesting. It's like, you see it or hear it 100 times before, and then suddenly something new comes in.
Something new comes from it. Yeah.
So the parable of the three servants. Again, the kingdom of heaven can be illustrated by the story of a man going on a long trip. He called together his servants and entrusted his money to them while he was gone. He gave 5 bags of silver to one, 2 bags of silver to another, and 1 bag of silver to the last, dividing in proportion to their abilities. Then he left on his trip. The servant who received the 5 bags of silver went to invest the money and earned 5 more. They also called the silver talents.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they used to call it, in a different version. This is just kind of going on in that realm. The servant with 2 bags of silver also went to work, who earned 2 more. But the servant who received the 1 bag of silver dug a hole in the ground and hid the master's money. After a long time, the master returned from his trip and called them to give their account of how they used his money. The servant to whom he had entrusted the 5 bags of silver came forward with 5 more and said, "Master, you gave me 5 bags of silver to invest, and I have earned 5 more." The master was full of praise. "Well done, my good and faithful servant. You have been faithful in handling the small amount, so now I will give you many more responsibilities. Let's celebrate together." The servant who had received 2 bags of silver came forward and said, "Master, you gave me 2 bags of silver to invest, and I have earned 2 more." The master said, "Well done, my good and faithful servant. You have been faithful in handling this small amount, so now I will give you many more responsibilities. Let's celebrate together." Then the servant with the 1 bag of silver came to him and said, "Master, I knew you were a harsh man, harvesting crops you didn't plant and gathering crops you didn't cultivate. I was afraid I would lose your money, so I hid it in the earth. Look, here's your money back." But the master replied, "You wicked and lazy servant. If you knew I harvested crops I didn't plant and gathered crops I didn't cultivate, why didn't you at least deposit my money in the bank? At least I could have gotten some interest on it." Then he ordered, "Take the money from this servant and give it to the one with the 10 bags of silver. To those who use well what they are given, even more will be given, and they will have an abundance. From those who do nothing, even what little they will have will be taken away. Now throw this useless servant into outer darkness, where there he will be weeping and gnashing, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth." So yeah, now so the story is the master is God, and he gives everyone bags of silver, or talents as they called them. Those talents were based on their abilities. So maybe somebody who could do more with their life, he gave them more to try and get out there, and to this person that much, and to this person that much, and they came back and they were able to share their wealth or the word of God to other people, and were rewarded. And then the one person that didn't share, but it's kind of he hid it,
Yeah.
And and then there is that question, like, well, why does one get 5, one get 2, and one get 1? And it's kind of based on their ability.
You can handle.
Yeah, it's kind of based on what you can handle. God gives everybody talents, and to some he gives a lot, and sometimes they use it all.
Yeah.
And to some he gives a few, and to some he gives, a few less, or whatever the case may be. But it's interesting because some people might think, like, well, so is this person with 10 greater than this person with 1 or 2?
Right.
And it's not really the case, like how the speaker talking, doing the service, he was saying how, if you refer to Isaiah, Isaiah went out for 50 years and tried to get people to God.
Yeah.
And, he was called, and, all right, this is my chance. This is my chance. For 50 years, not one person came to God. But God didn't look at him like, "Dude, what the hell is your problem?" No, he was like, "You have been faithful. Don't worry about
for your effort."
Yeah, you can't control the outcome. I mean, only I can. Only I can warm their hearts,
Yeah.
And so it was interesting to see it in that fashion. Like, it doesn't matter how many talents or how much money, whatever you've been given.
It's that you're trying.
It's that, it's what you're doing with your God-given talents.
Yeah.
What do you do with them?
For him.
And even if you go out there and you preach to 1,000,000 people and only one person comes to God, he is just as grateful as the person that went out there and converted 1,000,000 people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's your intent.
I really needed
your
to hear that
faithfulness,
message.
Yeah, and I thought that was interesting because I never really looked at it that way. It
takes
doesn't
up a lot of,
matter
like,
the outcome.
responsibility.
Only God can.
It's freeing.
What's that?
It takes off like a lot of the responsibility of
like guilt or feeling you're not doing something you're supposed to do. I mean, if you're doing the right thing, then God will reward you. As long as speak His name and talk about Him. And if somebody comes, to me, it's like I don't want to hammer something down to somebody. I'd rather just go, "Hey, just so you know, if you want to talk about it, I'm here."
Yeah.
And that way maybe they come back and we have a little conversation again, like with customers at work. Like we can sort of have that rapport sometimes, and so I might talk a little bit something, and then just know like, okay,
you just build
maybe
on
next
it.
time we kind of talk a little bit more, or something, because obviously you don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable, or no one wants to be pestered, no one wants to be hammered at. I know that I was, and I didn't like it, and I was like,
lead by example,
for sure.
Also.
Yeah, well, yeah, and as parents, we kind of have to now.
Yeah, I know.
Thanks, kids.
And also recognizing what God's gifts are within you.
Right.
Taking time to, all right, well, what do you think the gifts from God are in your life? How can you spread,
right?
Your joy, or the Holy Spirit. What is it that you do? Everybody has different talents, and it's true. I mean, I can't sing worth a damn, but if you can go up there and sing at church and sing in the choir, Jack started the choir today, and like praise God and get other people to sing for Him, like God bless you,
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm more of a talker.
Well, and that's why, like maybe with the podcast here.
Ooh! Is it a bee?
Yeah, he's floating around here.
Please do not sting me.
Yeah.
This is the outdoor podcasting problems.
Yep.
He's like, you swing at me, I'm gonna get you.
I'm gonna punch you in the face.
Okay. There, he just flew out. Yay.
Cool.
Between the mosquitoes and the bees and the
Welcome to Texas.
Welcome to Texas.
Just watch out for the snakes on the ground. Just watched Bullet Train last night. Hopefully there isn't a crazy venomous one that's going to make me bleed out the eyeballs.
We shared Bullet Train. You can buy it now at Target.
Yeah.
I brought it home, and Nathaniel got to watch it, and he loved it.
Yeah. That movie was awesome.
That has a great ending.
Yeah,
that was one of the newer movies that we saw that was good.
Yeah, that was good. That was really entertaining.
Really, really good.
Brad Pitt's always good.
He's hilarious.
And I mean, the dialogue was really well done. I mean, honestly, I like the two, quote unquote twins, as they call them.
Yeah. Those days,
They were funny. They were good. His references on Thomas the Train and someone's a Diesel versus a Percy or a Thomas, or it's like, oh my gosh, I remember all that stuff too. And Daniel's loving it too, because he's like, I totally used to watch that as a kid.
Yeah, he loved Thomas the Train.
Yeah, he loved it. Yeah, all those things. It's funny.
Oh man, that's awesome. All right, well, I think we're gonna cut it out today.
We are going to cut it out today.
Cut it out. What was that from? Cut it
I forget. What was that from? There was something on that.
That was from the guy who played the dorky uncle in Full House. Not Jesse.
Dave Coulier or whatever. The one that Alanis Morissette wrote the song about?
Yeah. Well, I was trying to think of like the name of the character that they called him. Like it was Uncle Jesse and Uncle Joey? No.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Joey.
Anyway.
Yeah, he was Joey.
Did like the America's Funniest Videos, like back in the day when I was a kid, and he would do the cut it out.
Cut it out. That's funny.
Yeah.
Chargers update. They're tied 17-17.
Oh, good. They're coming up.
They're playing my buddy Josh Drury's team.
Oh, sorry, Josh.
It's 5:27 left in the fourth. Well, they're tied, so I mean, hopefully.
I know, but we're not rooting for his team.
No, we cannot root for his team because Atlanta is bad. If you like Atlanta, then you don't believe in America. That's fine. All right, so we thought we'd close you out today. It's kind of ironic that I wanted to play the song Face to Face. It's by Face to Face called the Farewell Song. Hey, why not?
Yeah, why not?
They're actually playing right now at a show out in Oak Canyon Park in Irvine, I believe it is.
This weekend?
Yeah, this weekend, like right now, I think at 2:45 or something.
Oh, jeez.
Or I guess 2 hours for you guys out in California. But this is Face to Face, and yeah, man, this is one of my favorite bands.
Yep.
This is called the Farewell Song. All right. So love you guys.
Love you guys.
Have a great week.
See you next
week.